Hi everyone, and welcome back to Arguably Speaking.
I'm Kiera.
I'm Sarah.
And we're very happy you are here for our 40th episode.
Bow, 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 bow.
Woohoo! We made it, major milestone. We're very excited.
The big 4-0, or also the same age that my mother was when she had me. Fun fact.
Wow, that's a great fun fact.
I know.
40's a good age. I feel like that's really, a prime time in your life. You got things figured out. You have money.
Yeah.
And,
It's true.
you're getting closer to retirement. You're just working your way up. Getting as close as you can.
40's when you have the midlife crisis.
Well, yeah, I was trying to do the positives, but that too.
No, fair. 40's a good age. 40, I feel like, yeah, you, know who you are. You're pretty stable. You have enough money, like you said, to, do things that are, more expensive that you would save. But you still have, a working body.
All good things. 40 is still pretty abstract to us, so
yeah.
I feel like we're not really speaking to the age quite right. However, if you happen to be in that demographic, let us know how your life's going.
Let us know what we have to look forward to. That would be nice.
Yeah, don't tell us the bad things yet.
Yeah.
We're not ready for them. But we have got so much to catch up on, so much to say. So this week's podcast is going to be a storytelling episode. You may or may not have noticed our last couple episodes have been kind of linear in terms of time, but we've been posting them based on how many episodes we had in reserve, and I was out of town and everything. So really in our catch-ups, we're a week behind. Yeah. So we have 2 full weeks of events to recap, and we have some good stories for some wild things that happened.
2 full weeks, and those 2 full weeks were full.
Yeah, exactly.
We did a lot of stuff, so
we did many things,
yeah.
Indeed. And we are very excited to jump right into all of our stories. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with Sarah's stories because I think you have the most recent ones. And by recent, I mean chronologically. We're going to try to do our stories in time order, at least from when they happened to most recently what's happening now. By saying that out loud, it will never happen that way. We're going to say things out of order, but we're going to try our best.
Definitely.
So, Sarah, take it away.
Yeah, so the last thing that I told you all about in the previous episode was going to a Frisbee tournament. And I had felt like I wasn't doing as much at that tournament as I probably could have. And so the week following, when I had my league team game and then also my practice for this club, I did some really cool things because I was like, I need to be more confident and I need to play hard. And so Cade, guest star from previous episode, came and watched my league team game with Matthew, and we had the best game that we've had in Seattle that night. It was amazing. Matthew did some great things. I did some great things. We won, which is
Winning
crazy,
is so great.
because my league team does not win usually, so that was super exciting. And then at the practice after, it was a little rainy, and it was kind of the last cooler, colder day, and as I had mentioned previously, I had sunburns on my legs, so I was wearing leggings because I just really didn't want to have anyone see the fact that I was a big red lobster.
Aww.
And it was cold enough that it was fine, and so I was wearing leggings. It was a little bit rainy. You're like, why are you mentioning these facts, Sarah? It's because for the first time in my Frisbee career, I laid out. I went on the ground to get the disc, which is very exciting.
For those of you who are not part of the Frisbee community, explain, I mean, you kind of just did, but more how big of a deal it is to lay out.
It's kind of the difference between someone who's trying and playing Ultimate and knows what they're doing and someone who's showing off, they're the coolest person on the field at that moment in time. And it was sick, and it was kind of a side moment instead of a full on slide like a penguin dealio. But just imagine me, we're almost to the end zone, the point's really long, it's raining a little bit, and it's thrown in front of me, and I reach and I get it, right? And then the next throw was into the end zone for the point.
Amazing.
Right?
So you were the assist.
I was the assist, and I had the wherewithal to not only catch it after being on the ground, but to stand up and still not throw it away.
Nice.
Yeah. There's this little saying that people use where, like, you do something really, really cool and then you just absolutely, like, fail on your next action.
Well, because you're so distracted. You're like, oh my gosh, I just did something amazing.
Awesome. And so people will yell from the sideline and they'll be like, conservation of greatness. It's like you do something really great and then you do something really dumb.
You know, how it works.
Yeah. But no conservation of greatness was getting me. I was just great all around and I was really, really jazzed about it. So that's what happened during the week. And then the next day, my parents came into town and that will be my next little chunky chunk.
Well, as Sarah's parents were coming in town, I was also returning home from Colorado. So the rest of the time in Colorado was like pretty uneventful. I will say we did host said garage sale with my grandmother. I hauled so many boxes from the basement, not only for my grandmother, but also because of my mother. She was like, I want to get on them this now. We need a lot of stuff out of our house. Go grab more things from the basement. So I spent like the last 3 days hauling things up from the basement, pricing things, making signs, and like being very, very warm and exhausted.
Oh gosh.
But we do have air conditioning, unlike in our house currently.
Yeah.
Colorado does have air conditioning.
We did do a test run with the microphone to see if we could have Kiera's air conditioner on, and the answer was no.
Yeah, the answer is no. So we are sweating and suffering a little bit, but
Yeah.
you know, anything for the pod.
If we sound more distressed as the episode goes on, that's why.
We're just overheating.
It's fine. It's literally fine.
But I did have the garage sale, and it was so wildly unsuccessful. It was sad.
No.
Like, we had brought up so much of the things and put it all out. We had a good spread. Like, from the road, it was like, oh, I should stop there. There's a lot of stuff there. But I'm like, are people just not into garage sales these days?
Damn.
And it is a small town, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
we probably made like $50 or $60.
Wow.
Which is not much money for how much
No.
stuff we had out there.
Right, and how much time you were there?
And how much time. So we ended up donating a lot of things, which is still good. We didn't donate to just like a Goodwill. We donated to like a local place. So hopefully more of it actually does get like put back into the community, but still a little bit of a bummer. But then I flew home to Seattle.
Amazing.
So from Colorado, I took a plane straight here, direct, nonstop, which was
That's
great.
nice.
But it got delayed, which was unfortunate, yet fortunate, because my aunt and my cousin were flying into Colorado
Oh,
as I
cute.
was leaving to
Yeah.
visit my mom. And at first we were supposed to meet up for like an hour at the airport and say hi and like have a little meal or something, but their flight got delayed, so we couldn't do it. And then my flight also got delayed, but I didn't know until I was already at the airport. So what I did is I went to the gate and I
Aw.
found their arrival gate and I waited there and I surprised them when they got off the plane and I was like, surprise! I'm
That's so
here!"
cute.
And they were so excited and it was really fun. And I got
Wow.
to see them for like half an hour and I walked them to like the train in DIA because it's kind of hard to find. And
Yeah.
they have so much new construction and it's so far. Like it's such a big airport.
Yeah, well, okay, so I heard that they have, like, the security things that scan your bags, like, some of them are automated now.
I didn't do those ones.
Okay,
but
never
like
mind.
probably.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm going to take a flight at the end of this month, so I'm going to see, and maybe I'll report back.
Yeah, please do. I hope that they do that because security's
Sounds cool.
annoying.
Yeah.
But it was really cute, and I got to see them and gave them big hugs and just caught up a little bit. And then I was off to the races, and I think my flight, since it was delayed, it got in closer to like 12:30, 12:45 a.m., which was a bummer. And then my partner picked me up, and we got home around like 1:30 or something. I had to put some stuff down, and so we didn't get to sleep until like 2 a.m, which will lead into my next story of having to wake up very early the next day to go to Mount Rainier. But
Wild. Absolutely
with that being
wild.
said, we'll move it back to Sarah.
Coming back to Sarah. So before my parents flew in that same morning, I was like, I have work off. I need to go to the dentist because I was so afraid. You guys, I was so afraid because I have this black spot on one of my teeth and I've been like trying to scrub it away. I'm getting in there. I've been like flossing. I've been doing all of the everything that I could and I could not get it to go away. And I was like, this is definitely a cavity. They're definitely going to have to drill it out. I am going to cry because I had not been to a dentist in like 3 years maybe.
Maybe. Who's to say?
You know, but I did floss, like, really well for a little while. Kiera knows. She made fun of me, but flossing every day was my New Year's resolution for a year.
Yeah, like a few years ago, I thought it was silly, but now I am on the oral hygiene train.
Heck yeah.
I got floss. I got mouthwash now.
Oh, yeah?
We have a 3-step oral care routine at night.
Kiera got mouthwash, and then I saw Kiera's mouthwash, and then I got mouthwash.
Yeah. So we're really just good influences on one
I
another.
was about to say, yeah, I can be influenced is what we're learning, so be careful. Anyways, I go to the dentist, I'm like, oh no, I missed the bus, so I just run because it's not that far away.
Nice.
It's like 10 blocks by like 3 blocks away, so I was like, that's
Okay.
fine, but it's up the hill, so I was like,
a little worse.
yeah, exactly. So I get into the dentist and I'm super sweaty, and I was like, haha, I'm not nervous sweaty. Because, like, I bet people are nervous sweaty when they go in. But
No.
I was like, I'm just, like, sweaty because I ran here. And the hygienist laughed at me, which makes sense. But anyway, she was like, wow, you have beautiful teeth. And I was like, thank you. And then she was like, okay, like, you know, we're going to check things out or whatever. And she was like, 3 years, really? Wow, I'm not even going to have to give you the lesson on flossing. I can tell you've done a great job. And I was like, oh my God, thanks. And the spot on my tooth that I thought was a cavity, not a cavity. It's just coloring. If I want to get rid of it, I can get like an electronic toothbrush and like, I don't know, whatever. She recommended some things, but she was like, it's literally fine. Don't worry about it. And I was like, perfect.
I had one of those too.
Yeah.
I had the same, like, horrible moment. I was like, what is this spot? And they were like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Weird.
Yeah. It might have started being a cavity, but then it just, like, you did something good, and then it kind of healed up, but it healed up discolored.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wild.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'm not a dentist, so don't quote me on anything.
I am also not a dentist. But all in all, I went in thinking that they were going to have to, like, rip out one of my teeth, and they are going to do, like, 2, like, side tooth, like, scrapey, and then put, like, filling stuff over it as, like, a cover. They're not going to drill or anything. They're just going to,
like, you just have very minor cavities. They'll
Yeah.
just try to get all the bacteria out
Yeah.
of there so they don't get worse.
Yeah. But the 2 things, both of them together, it's going to cost me $80 out of pocket, which I'm really, really happy about because I was like, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on my teeth. So, yay me. Also, like, nothing like telling someone that they did a good job to make them do the thing that you did more. Because, like, I have not flossed since then.
Sarah and I did have a small conversation about this, being like, wow, that's how project managers get people to do things. It's
Literally.
like, oh my gosh, you did such an amazing job on XYZ. Like, I just can't believe how good it is. And you're like, wow, the validation is so good.
Thank you.
And like, I know I'm really great. Thank you.
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's basically the positive reinforcement works. That's
Literally.
our proof.
Literally. But yeah, so that was my pre-parents picking up from the airport. Parents picked up from the airport. We didn't do a lot the first day. We just kind of chilled out at my aunt and uncle's house because they were sleepy, and we took a like movie nap, which is basically the only kind of nap that my parents will do because my mom's like, we need to be doing something, but they were really happy to see me, and that kind of brings us into the weekend. Do you have weekend things that you want to share before I share my weekend things?
Well, I have a few weekend things. We can do day by day. Like, I can
Okay.
do Saturday for this one.
Nice.
So, we are on Saturday now. It is the start of a beautiful, busy weekend. And as I had previously mentioned, I got in really late from Colorado the night before and also had permits to go to Mount Rainier, Paradise Side. And I was like, have to use them on the 29th. And I really, really want to go. I had invited Sarah, but Sarah's parents were in town, so she couldn't go. So Kate ended up going with us, and then a bunch of my friends. And my partner happened to get the exact same day pass for Mount Rainier at the same time in the same entrance for Paradise.
That's
So we had
wild.
2 cars because we had 2 passes, which was really nice.
Wow.
And we had more than 1 car's worth of people go. I think we had 6 or 7. I can't really remember.
Nice.
But we had done this exact same hike last year around this time, and it was beautiful. Like, the peaks and everything, they had a little bit of snow on them, but all of the hiking trails were very clear, and it was so easy to get through. But this time we go up and there's so much snow. Like,
oh gosh.
I think a couple episodes Sarah and I were complaining about how, like, oh my gosh, it's been like cold and weird, and then it'll be warm, and then cold and weird and whatever in the month of June. And it's so true, because up there, like, you could tell that people had walked a certain area because you could see the footprints in the snow, but there were times where you'd like step through and you're like, wow, I'm just walking on a tree right now.
Wow.
Because there was that much snow.
Dang.
And so we're able to do that hike, Skyline, in about like 3.5 hours. I think it's like 5 miles, 5.5 miles.
Okay, yeah.
Something like that. And like usually it takes us longer because we stop for lunch and we, take our time. We're usually not trying to power through the hike.
Yeah.
But this time it took us like an hour and a half to do a mile, I think, because it was so much, like, there's so much snow and it's so slow going.
Yeah.
And there were also a lot of people that were like kind of turning back and not going, and we went counterclockwise instead of clockwise, which is the harder side. We just wanted to try it for once because we're like, oh, we've never done it this way, and it was kind of rough. But highlights. Instead of going all the way around, we're like, you know what we should do? We should do glissading.
That's super
Or we should
fun.
go glissading.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you slide down the mountain on your butt like a slide, like chutes and ladders, because there's snow and it's slippery. And so we hiked up like some pretty steep areas, and then we went all the way down, and it was so much fun. And on our way back, we were able to walk back a lot faster because it's downhill instead of uphill.
Nice.
Like, our way up was all the way uphill, and we saw a marmot, a singular marmot. Every time I've gone up there, I've seen a lot more marmots, but this marmot was posing for the camera. It was going on the snow instead of, like, the grassy patches, so the contrast was better.
Aww.
It was a very cute marmot.
Nice.
And then afterwards, we went down and went to our cars, went to the bathroom and stuff, and we decided to go to this cafe because my friends were like, we're very hungry. We need to eat right now. And I was like, fair. Also me.
I am also very hungry and need to eat right now.
So that's what we did. We went to this cafe. I can't remember what it was called. It was probably an hour away from Rainier. And it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And they had amazing milkshakes.
Ooh.
So we all got various things, fried food, American diner food kind of.
Yeah.
But they had the awesome milkshakes where they give you like the glass, but they also get you the metal part.
Those are the best. With Twisted Spoon.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it felt
That's
like
awesome.
a classic milkshake. We got a couple fun flavors too. We got cookie dough, we got raspberry. I can't remember. They had huckleberry, I think, but nobody ended up getting huckleberry, even though I wanted it. But I was like, I'm kind of slightly lactose intolerant, so I probably shouldn't get a full milkshake, so I should probably go splitsies, so it's fine. And I very much enjoyed that cafe. Highlight of the day.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then came home and was so tired. I was like, I need to sleep.
Well, yeah, because you hardly slept at all the night before.
Yeah, because I had to wake up so early, and then I was there, and then we were back in Seattle for the evening. So that was my Saturday. What about you?
Amazing. Yeah, I'm going to tell you about my Friday and Saturday, because we did like stuff, but I don't have a lot of like stories about the things that we did, I guess.
Yeah, kind of just list them, quick go through.
Yeah. So Friday we had our downtown day, and we walked around Pike Place Market. Those of you who have listened to the pod before, we've talked about Pike Place. Very fun. My parents also enjoyed it. We did not buy a lot of things, which I was nervous about, because my parents, as we have said before, sucker for a good salesman. Mm-hmm. They can be talked into almost anything. But yeah, we did fairly well. Got some cherries, Rainier cherries, delicious. Oh my gosh, way better than regular cherries, and that is my opinion. But yeah, the weirdest thing that was happening out of Pike Place was that my mom there's a bunch of like flavored pastas, and there's all of these delicious flavors, and I got tomato pesto, like flavored pasta, delicious, and my mom got chocolate flavored pasta, which is just crazy. But she didn't eat it
Has she tried it yet?
I do not know. I should ask.
We need an update.
Yeah. And then after that we did the underground tour, and the underground tour, very fun. I've talked about it before. It was super cool, and my parents love history, and my mom was asking all these questions, and they were like, wow, this is so neat. They took a really cute picture with a crapper, if you know what a crapper is.
Please explain for the pod.
Well, Thomas Crapper was the person who invented indoor plumbing.
Wow.
So you give a crap into a crapper. Well, you take a crap, whatever. You know what I mean. And so that's why we call it crap, was because crapper was the name that you pooped into it.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Isn't that fun?
What a fun fact. I did not know.
Super fun. But yeah, so learned a bit about Thomas Crapper and the sewage problems with Seattle again. And they were kids on the underground tour, so they talked a little bit less about Madame Lou, I think, and her sewing circle.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they have to change it for the audience.
Exactly. So we got a little bit less of that, but it was still very fun. And then on Saturday, we had our little UW day, because my parents were like, we want to see where you work. We want to see all the things that you were talking about. And this day was just a series of Sarah not having success.
Aww.
Which is fine. My parents were like, we're having a great time. And I was like, I know, but you could be having a better time. Because everything that I was like planning on doing or seeing was closed. So we tried to go to the tower, which was like where I got to go on my first day of work, my first job here, and it has a really great view. And so I was like, we don't have to pay for the Space Needle. We could just go up in this really tall building. There's some fun history stuff in the basement. The entire building itself kind of looks like Mad Men, like 70s-esque. And I was like, they'll love this. And it's under construction. And so I couldn't get in. And I was like, that's fine. So we walked around the U District for a little bit, got some Greek food, which was yummy, and we went into the Red Light store.
Yes.
It is a thrift store, vintage, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
And my mom almost bought a corset, and I was like, haha, this is hilarious. These corsets are here for drag queens.
Well, and just in general, like a different,
Yeah.
a different demographic.
Right. It was very funny. And she was like, well, I don't know, it's a nice corset. And like, it was a denim corset, and she doesn't have a lot of like fashion ones. She has a lot more like,
functional.
Right, exactly. And she did not end up getting it because it was like Seattle vintage prices.
Oh yeah.
And
that
so,
specifically isn't expensive. There's a difference between like thrift and consignment.
Right.
And I think they're more consignment.
I think so too. Because there were people selling stuff in there to the store.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But that was really fun. We went into this gargoyle store too. So like all in all, a success there. Then we went on to main campus, and I was like, you guys have to see this library. You'll love it. There's old stuff. There's globes. It's
you
so
love
fun.
old things.
Literally. Like, if you want to learn anything about my parents on vacation, they love old stuff. And we get to the library, and it's closed on Sundays. Saturday? It was closed on the day that we did it. Saturday.
Amazing.
And so that was, like, a big bummer. We were also like, it's Saturday. What the F? Why is this not open? It's obviously a tourist attraction, because there were like so many people who were walking up and trying to get into this building.
Yeah, and no one could.
Really cute. It's just cute.
Yeah, it's a good exterior, good interior. It's like kind of the pinnacle of like the UW campus.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's in Red Square, which has a great view usually.
Right, exactly. So, foiled again. Hey, that's okay. We stood outside of it. We looked up what all of the carvings meant. It's wisdom, knowledge, and mastery.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Wisdom, inspiration. Inspiration and mastery. Whatever. It's like an old-looking man, and then a pretty woman, and then, like, athletic-looking younger man.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, so that was fun. Whatever. They still enjoyed it. And then I'm like, that's okay. Let's go see if we can see Rainier and look at the fountain, because that's also a good part of the campus. And we turned the corner. Can't see Rainier. Parents did not see Rainier the entire time they were out.
Which is wild, because it's been
so
out
sad.
like every single day since they've left.
Literally. It's just ridiculous. But it's okay. So, did not see Rainier. That's alright. Hey, at least there's gonna be the fountain. Wrong again. The fountain is completely drained. There's a fence around it, and it's being cleaned. And so it was like, okay, this is so fun, yay. It's like, so glad that we're having a great time. Thankfully, my parents, troopers, did not care. we went and saw my current office. They were like, sit down at the desk and pretend you're sending an email. And then they took a picture of me.
Yeah.
They're like, this is so cute. And then I was like, this is my tea box. And they were like, oh, we're going to send it to your grandmother. And I was like, you guys are weird. But it was cute. It was
Yeah.
And we went to St. Bread, which I had not been to before.
Fun place, cute place.
Really good pastries. I had people bring me pastries.
Okay, so you already kind of knew.
But I was like, we're going, it's 4 p.m., they're probably not going to have anything, but just know that they have really yummy food. And we ended up getting something that was, like, held back for someone else, but they didn't pick it up.
Oh.
And it was very good. It was, like, cornbread, but it wasn't cornbread. It was, like, polenta bread or something.
Oh, yes. That's one of their, I think that's one of their standing, because they have stuff that rotates, but that one, I think, stays.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
it's good.
It was delicious. We sat by the water. I was like, my feet hurt. You guys have been walking me ragged. And they're like, let's go home. And I was like, I love going home.
Yeah, let's call it a day.
Yeah, which was awesome. And I think that was Saturday.
Nice.
Pretty good day.
Well, I very much, like, crashed. I definitely ate food Saturday evening and, like, can't remember what happened. What?
I lied. There's one more thing that happened on Saturday.
Okay.
We went dancing.
Oh, nice.
We went dancing, and it was really fun because roommate Cade, guest Cade came. And
everyone remembers who Cade is.
We all remember so many times. Perfect. And it was really, really fun. We had thought about going line dancing at this place that was in Capitol Hill, but we ended up going to the Red Hen. Because it was in Green Lake, it was closer, and they had a live band.
Amazing.
Which was so fun. They had like a 7-part band, and they sounded really good. I was like, dang, okay.
All right.
Yeah, and most of the people were couples dancing, which is fine. Honestly, better for my parents, because they can't move in the same ways that they used to for line dances, you know. They don't have a lot of jump in them, you know.
But they got the passion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. But yeah, they were like first ones out on the dance floor. The band was just doing a sound check, but my parents started dancing and no one else was on the floor yet. So they started doing a bunch of cool stuff. And so the band just kept playing and they finished the song and they were like, okay, so that was our 3.5 minute sound check. Very cute.
That's amazing.
It was super fun. My aunt and uncle came, so there's 3 of us couples, and I forced Cade to dance with me a bunch, and he was a trooper. But I didn't dance that much because my feet were tired because, again, we walked everywhere. But my parents danced almost every song, and they were just super cute, and everyone was like, aw, they love to dance. You can just see it. It's just like their favorite thing. This is what they live to do. And I was like, I know. Aw, yay. And I got to dance with them, and I danced with my mom, and I danced with my dad. Anyways. It was a great time. That is actually the end of Saturday.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel like I can't even remember what I did Saturday. All I know is that I slept a lot because I needed to sleep. And then on Sunday, I woke up very early because I had the Colorado time change in my favor, and I had already been waking up very early. So I was up at 6 a.m. I was like,
wow.
Whoa. And then I was like, Kiera, you have to go back to sleep. So I slept in pretty late. I think I went out and got breakfast, but then the big activity of my Sunday was okay, Cade brought up a kayak for me.
Nice.
Because I was like, Mom, you're not going to use this, and I know you're not going to use it, and I will get way more use out of it. Let's go kayaking. That sounds like a fun little excursion. And so I was trying to look everywhere for it. I was looking in the garage. I was looking in our storage closets. I even peeked into Cade's room, and I was like, where the heck is this kayak? And I'm trying to call Cade, and he's not answering. I was like, I just saw Cade 5 minutes ago. Where did he go? And this was in the afternoon, so it was post Sunday morning rituals, church or anything like that. And I was like, this boy, where has he gone? And he wasn't answering any of my calls. So I was like, fine, I can't use the stupid kayak. And so I was like, Matthew, previous podcast guest, Matthew.
Yeah.
Can I use your paddleboard? Because we still want to go out on the water. And he was like, yeah, sure. It's fine. And then we take the paddleboard out. We go. We pump it up. Everything's good. But it's definitely a one-person, paddleboard. So it's not really meant for 2. But we were going to sit the whole time. Because even though it was pretty calm Green Lake area, we knew that, 2 people was going to push any paddleboard. And, if we had maybe, 15 or 20 more pounds, I don't
would have
know.
been sinking.
I don't know if it would have floated.
That's so
but
funny.
It was very fun. We paddled to Duck Island.
Cute.
There's a little island in Green Lake, if you didn't know.
I did not
called
know.
Duck Island. And then they also have floating, I think, taiga wetlands. I don't know if they're actually taiga, because they don't really look like it. But they're floating wetlands of some sort. And that's basically where they kind of put an area down and have some very shallow soil and have plants growing on it, and it's good for the ducks, it's good for the ecosystem, the plants are good for the whole environment. And while we were there, we saw goose eggs on this floating wetland. And we're like, one, those are way too big to be duck eggs, because we've seen duck eggs before.
Yeah.
These were giant goose eggs. I was a little bit shocked and amazed. And we also saw turtles, and we saw a lot of geese, of course, and a lot of ducks. And it was very fun. And we just paddled around, and then we paddled back. And then we were sat. We were, our butts were very wet from sitting on the paddleboard.
Nice.
And just kind of splashing around. So afterwards, we had taken the paddleboard up, and we decided to lay our blankets out and just like lay like lizards in the sun for a
Sounds
little
amazing.
while. Yeah, and so that was very good. And that was my Sunday. Honestly, it wasn't crazy eventful, but the paddleboarding was very fun. Even
Amazing.
though the big answer to the mystery is Cade had the kayak in his car the whole time and had taken his car to go elsewhere. And so the kayak
Kayak
was not
was definitely not in the
in the
house.
house. But that's okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Sunday, I did my hike.
Yeah, actually, that wasn't the end of Sunday.
It's true. Your Sunday continued, but after my Sunday began.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I did my hike with my parents and my uncle. We went to a waterfall. It was very pretty. It wasn't like a hard hike, but it was definitely like a hike. You know, we went maybe 2 miles in.
Yeah,
2
sure.
miles back. And I don't know. It was really fun. We saw a bunch of plants. My parents, bless their hearts, have new phones, and they are like teenage girls right now. They're like, look at what my camera can do. Isn't it fun? Don't you think it's neat? And my mom had cell service the entire time, so she was using her Google Lens to look up every single plant that she saw.
Oh my goodness
And I was
gracious.
like, Mother dearest, I might hit you.
We
I
need to
didn't
move.
do that, but I was like, wow, this is mildly frustrating. But it was still really pretty, and we had a great time. And we only got, like, really rained on for about 20 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad.
But it was definitely rainy. We stopped at a place. If you ever go whatever direction that I was in, like...
Thank you.
Yes, east of Ballard, look up a place called Small Fries. Because, oh my goodness, have you been to this place?
No, but your aunt and uncle were telling me about it.
It's so good. If you want to die in a pile of fried food, go to Small Fries. We got, technically we got a large and a medium fry, and my uncle passed the large fry back to me and Mom. And we were like, okay, awesome. We're gonna eat these fries. And little did we know, we were supposed to actually save what was left of the large fry for my Aunt Linda. And so me and my mom just powered our way through a large fry together. And like, when I say large, you guys, I mean like a gallon Ziploc bag. Like, it was a lot of fries.
And y'all
It's
didn't save a
crazy.
single fry
We
for
just
Aunt Linda.
cleaned up. It was one of those things where you look at each other afterwards and you're like, oh my gosh.
What did we just do?
Oh my gosh, you know. But it was really yummy. And then we got back to my aunt and uncle's house, took showers, and then we had a barbecue. And Kiera came to the barbecue.
Yes, I forgot that the Sunday was not over yet. Like, the day part of Sunday was chill and fun kayak / paddleboarding. And then the evening, it was round 2.
Round
It
two.
was like time to rally and go out. We went with me, Kate, and Matthew and visited Sarah there. Bella, unfortunately, was busy working and also had a friend in town.
Hosting another guest.
So there was
yeah.
lots of things happening in the house, lots of guests and lots of events happening this weekend. But so much fun. Oh my gosh, your family is so great together.
Yay.
And they had yard games for us. And we just had such a fun time chatting because everyone had so many stories.
Yeah.
We had an amazing dinner.
Oh my
my
gosh.
goodness.
Aunt Linda can cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She can cook like no
man.
other. And
It was
so
really good.
we were all happy and we were chatting, playing games. Sarah and I, with the help of her mother, won cornhole.
Yeah, we did. Did you know, podcast listeners, that one of your hosts, Kiera, played cornhole professionally? She was paid. She had a sponsorship.
I was playing cornhole on a collegiate level, though, I will say.
It's true. We had a collegiate player.
It was actually intramural cornhole at the University of Arizona, and it was like the first or second year it had ever been run, and everybody was really bad, and it was also COVID. So we were all just like wearing masks and stuff, and it was so silly, but I think I lost every single game except for the ones that they forfeited because they didn't show up.
Damn.
Because there was one team or two teams that were actually very good.
Oh, no.
And I was like, why do they keep getting matched with these people?
Aww.
And it was because other people kept forfeiting.
That's so funny.
So,
oh my god.
I did not win. I think I might have won like individual rounds, but I never won like a whole set because how cornhole works is you have to play 3 games to 21.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, we did have the dream team.
We did have the dream team. And I will say that my mom was really the heavy hitter on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, this rebuilt shoulder and 2 new knees are really coming in on the form.
Totally.
It was pretty impressive. But yeah, we had a really lovely time and just good chats. I don't know. I really enjoy my family, and so I really enjoy my friends as well. And when my family and my friends are together, I'm like, this is so fun.
No, it was so great.
Yeah. So, if we're moving past Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, my parents were still in town, but most of that time was dedicated to them helping me pack up things.
Nice.
We were pretty exhausted for obvious reasons, and it was also like a sub reason for them to come out and visit me was to have their checked bags be filled with heavy items that I still want to have with me in grad school and do not want to like sell, pawn off, whatever here. And so I gave them a sewing machine and a bunch of different books and frisbees, etc., etc. So that was most of Monday and Tuesday. And the only other like big touristy item that we did was we went to Fremont.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a cute neighborhood.
I love Fremont. I think that if I live in this area again for like a long period of time, I would want to live in Fremont.
I've also thought about that because
Yeah.
it's just like, one, it's so close to the water. It's got such a cute little downtown-ish neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's very easily walkable, but it feels quaint.
It does.
Yeah.
It feels super quaint. It feels like it's trying to be a little more touristy than some of the other neighborhoods are without being like overrun.
Yeah. It's not downtown.
Right. Exactly. So that was really fun. Said hi to the troll. Got some food. Went to a plant store and the big vintage mall, which was fun.
Good.
Fun. And yeah, I said goodbye to my parents. I said like, thank you for coming. This is awesome. Thank you for taking all of my heavy things.
Love
and
you.
Sent them on their way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really lovely.
Well, I'm glad you had a nice little visit, and I was so happy to have seen your parents because I wasn't sure if I was going to see them. I thought my time in Colorado might overlap with their time here, but it was great to see the Van Hairs.
Yay.
And the extended Van Hairs.
It's true. And the extended Van Hairs. Extended because they're all tall.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But my start of the week was actually fairly eventful because I started my new full-time big girl job.
Woo! She's a working professional.
I'm a working girl, and I was really happy to do so, but also kind of dreading it because I was like, wow, it's been so nice to have some time off and to really not do anything. But it was a really good first day. I wore a cute little outfit that I got from the clothing swap.
Love.
And then it was a lot of just setup day. Like the first day of a job, you're not really doing work. You're kind of getting oriented with anything. And even though I'd already been working here for the past year as an intern, I was doing like full-time stuff. So I got to know about like my health benefits and Medicare, and I got to learn about like 401k and whatever that stuff is.
Nice.
And so that was all good. And I got taken out to lunch, which was amazing because I got to choose the place, and I chose this really good Indian place. Only sad thing is with that many people, you have to atone for other people's tastes, and there were people who could not handle spice at all.
Oh no.
So we got Indian food with no spice, which I've never done before. Really weird experience. I was like, this is like kind of it, but weird.
Huh.
It was still really good. Still got free lunch. Still really happy about it.
Nice.
And the rest of the week went swimmingly because it was the week of July 4th.
Amazing.
And so everybody wasn't really starting new things. Everybody was just trying to finish things so that they could have the 4th off, which was a Thursday. And then everyone who possibly could, who had PTO, took the 5th off because that was Friday.
Yeah.
And who wants to work on Friday?
No one.
This girly has just started this week and has accrued 0 PTO. Also, could not use a quote sick day because I don't get sick days. It's only PTO. We just
Really?
get not a lot more PTO, but we get more PTO to cover that. And they're like, you'll just get more paid time off if we don't have sick time. But I'm like, we need sick time.
Right.
Because what if I got sick, like, right now? What would I do?
Literally.
I just have to take no pay. No pay.
Right. Which is, like, not okay. Especially
Exactly.
if you're sick and have, like, expenses because you're sick.
Exactly. And it's gonna take time for me to accrue. Like, I think I get, like, 6 hours of PTO every pay period.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's, like, not that much.
No.
So it would take me a long time to accrue even, like, a few days.
Yeah.
And I could get sick at any point in time.
Literally.
Anyways, that is a bone to pick with any company that does that. Specifically this one, I'm like, consider fixing yourself. But they did that because of COVID, too.
Oh.
Because so many people were just working from home and working through their sickness.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
Not
I don't
great.
know.
Not
I
great.
feel certain ways about certain things, but we won't dilly-dally on that topic. If there's nothing interesting too much about the week, I think we should jump into July 4th.
July 4th.
If you are not from the United States of America, July 4th is the only day that most of us have a lot of patriotism throughout the whole year.
And it's mostly based on eating food that isn't very healthy for us and blowing things up.
Yes. So, classic American stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Sarah and I both had the day off work, which was amazing. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had decided that we want to go to Bellevue for the fireworks because last year I went to Gasworks. And while it was beautiful, Gasworks is like the classic place to see fireworks here because it's on the water and you can kind of see the city and they have like the big celebration. But I'm like, I've heard good things about Bellevue. It might be a little bit farther away, but I think we're going to have way more space because Gasworks is like sardines.
Crowded.
You have to stand and like there's so many people around and it just like wouldn't have been like a leisurely fun picnic vibe.
I would not have been
like
standing.
We're walking around, we can maybe sit like cuz there are still food vendors and things, you know. There's still a stuff for people to do rather than just stand, but you kind of have to get there early.
Wow.
If you want a really good spot, or you can just stand and the traffic is horrible. So I was like, Bellevue it is.
Bellevue it is.
And that's what we ended up doing. We got in a bunch of cars and just drove down. The drive was pretty easy because everybody was wanting to be in town.
We listened to Glee covers, and wow, I will definitely be doing that at work at some point because it was so fun. There's so many that you don't remember being so great, and then you listen to them and you're like, oh, wow, this was so great.
Annie, are you okay?
So good. With 2 cellos?
So good.
Yeah.
We were having the best time, and we were bopping in the car and having a great little time, and this was a potluck event.
Yes.
So it was us and some of our friends coming together, and we had picnic blankets. We actually got there first, which I was surprised about.
Yeah.
Because if there's anything you know about us or friends, is that we're all chronically late.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've just gotten worse about it because we know that nobody cares.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's
very
like
forgiving.
enabling.
Yeah.
And so we ended up getting to Bellevue. I think we got a really good spot. Like we were very close and facing towards where the fireworks were coming out. And wow, our friends outdid themselves with the potluck food.
It was amazing because we brought good items. You know, Kiera brought apples. I brought Rice Krispie treats. Like we
got chips. Like some classic sides, little sides.
Yeah, and Kiera's friend rolls up with like huge container of watermelon, which is one of the most American things to eat on the 4th of July.
Really.
Amazing. Corn on the cob. Also amazing, also American. And then jalapeno poppers and bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. It was Oh man, I ate a lot of food and it was amazing.
We felt very spoiled, and we were also very close. There's so many stores nearby, so like other people were coming like with ice cream cakes and stuff like that, and like our food pile was just growing. There was more chips happening.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of drinks. Everybody was happy. Life was very good.
It was amazing. It was just a bunch of friends sitting around. We played a little card game.
A little bit of hacky sack.
A little bit of hacky sack.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really lovely. It was the perfect 4th of July picnic, you know, right before the fireworks, watch the fireworks go off. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fireworks, we kept thinking that they were over, and then they'd start again.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, they're over. And they'd be like, no, just kidding.
Yeah.
Like two
They
or
were,
three
like,
times.
with the songs that were being played, I think by a band.
Yeah, it was a live orchestra, I wanna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then every time the orchestra would finish a song, we'd be like, well, I guess it's over now. That was kind of fast. And then the orchestra would start up again, and then the fireworks would go off again, and we were like, huh?
Huh?
What? Yeah. But it was very fun. It was very, very fun.
Yeah, it was great. And then we were like, oh my gosh, we all have to work tomorrow. Which is not all of us, but like a lot of us had to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we scrambled back home. Honestly, my Friday was not so exciting because I was like, no one's here. I was technically the senior person at the office because the only other people there was another new hire who hadn't been an intern for the past year and an intern.
Amazing.
So everyone was asking me what to do, and I was like, I don't know. I started on Monday.
Literally. That's so fun.
Yeah, so I had the seniority. But on Friday evening, well, first of all, Cade visited me for lunch, which was awesome.
Very
He was like,
cute.
you should visit me, and we had a nice lunch.
Nice.
And then I got off a little early. I think Sarah did as well, and we decided to
Yes.
try to find this live music because we're into the live music scene. Unlucky, we walked everywhere around Pioneer Square. We stopped at a couple cool parks.
Right.
No live music to be seen.
Right.
And so we took a detour.
We did. We took a detour to a food mart.
It's
Question
called
mark?
Ujimaya. It's
Yeah.
pretty famous.
Yeah. It was really fun. There were a bunch of different places to get food. I really wanted to get bubble tea. And I was like, Kiera, we should get bubble tea. And Kiera was like, that's so far away. It's in International District. And I was like, Kiera, it's not that far away. It's just a different neighborhood, which feels like it would be far, but actually walking, it was like 10 minutes.
Well, and it's also a different light rail station. So
True.
it feels far.
True, very
Yeah.
true. But yeah, so we walked to get bubble tea, and it happened to be in Ujimaya. And so Cade got some spring rolls, and we went into this really cute bookstore.
Yeah. It was awesome. They had like all of these art supplies and bookstores. It was like Asian like bookstore, so they had a lot of manga, and they also had so many cute stationery items. And
I learned about pencil bags.
pencil bags. The pencil bag market is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was telling Sarah, there's like awards for them every year, and so there were some
Amazing.
really cool pencil bags, and just a fun store to be in that has unique stuff that you don't always see.
Totally.
And then we started Bridgerton season 3.
Heck yeah.
And we're gonna keep watching it tonight.
Very exciting stuff. And we're gonna turn the air conditioner on in Kira's room and hide.
Yeah, and we're literally, everyone in the house is probably gonna live in my room
Yeah.
for the next while.
It's very hot. It's very, very hot.
Yeah. And then that brings us to the next day, Saturday, right? We like slept and Sarah's looking at me very like concerned.
I just can't remember what happened on Saturday, but you totally remember.
I totally remember what happened on Saturday.
Oh my god. Okay, first, while Kira remembers what happened on Saturday, on my 4th of July morning, I got to play in a scrimmage with some really good mixed teams, Lights Out and Bullet Train, I think was the name of them. So 2 like high-ranked mixed teams. And the team that I was playing and picking up with was the Hong Kong national team Masters team. So Masters means that you have to be 30 years or older. And so all of the people that I was playing with had some sort of claim to citizenship to Hong Kong, and they were all practicing because they're going to Worlds together, which is crazy. And so that was really fun. I got to play some really high-level Ultimate, and then everyone was like, hey, we're getting dim sum after, you should come. And I was like, amazing, I would love to come, because I had dim sum, like, takeout before, and I was like, I just love to eat different kinds of protein wrapped in bread. I'm excited. And we spent, like, 2.5 hours in this dim sum place.
Amazing.
I didn't know. I had never been into one before, and it's so fun. I recommend go to dim sum with someone who knows what they're doing. Let them order anything and just put it in your mouth. And it's like, I ate so much food.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm a very big proponent of dim sum. I'm very happy. And I also realized that I did fun things July 4th morning too.
You're kidding. What did you do July 4th morning?
I went tide pooling at Carkeek Park, and granted, I thought Carkeek would be better for tide pooling. It was not that great at the time that we went. Like, maybe the tide was too low or something, but we did see a lot of starfish. We saw some fun anemones. We saw a lot of crabs. Someone picked up a crab and we're like, put that crab down. Stop that. And we also saw a jellyfish.
No
But
way.
the jellyfish was so unhappy because it was
Oh
definitely
my god.
not where it was
It's
supposed to be.
definitely dead.
Yeah. It was called like a egg jellyfish. Like,
Ew.
it's supposed
I was
to
about
look
to say,
like that.
How do you know it's a jellyfish and not just a pile of goo?
Yeah, it's a jellyfish because there were people there that it was their job to help others tide pool. So they were like giving information about all of the things there. We saw some sea cucumbers and we waded around in the little pools and it was nice. Like, it was fun. But it was like, I feel like we're missing some things because there's not as many cool rocks and divots. It's a lot of sand. Yeah.
Less opportunity for a creature to hide.
But they have oysters, and if you poke at the oysters, they'll spurt a big spurt of water. And I got some people so good.
That's awesome.
So good.
Wait, like surprising them or
Yeah.
having them get squirted?
Both. They
You're
were surprised
kidding.
by getting
That's
squirted.
so funny.
It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. That's
I laughed
hysterical.
so hard.
Weaponizing oysters.
Yeah, I'm very good at it. It's a secret talent.
Things that Kiera has on her CV.
Weaponizing oysters for fun, for gain.
That's amazing. That's
Okay,
amazing.
so that really truly brings us to Saturday
Yes.
of this weekend.
110%.
And we did very fun things. Sarah, please do the honors of telling the story because we did it together.
So, we got tickets a long time ago in my fundraising job to go do horse racing. And so this was like a little fundraiser thing. We got the tickets and we had no idea, if it was going to be one horse race, it was going to be multiple horse races. We were really nervous because we went to Costco in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a lot longer than we thought because apparently, I don't know if you know this, but former podcast guest Cade had never been to a Costco before.
Yes, I know.
That's crazy.
So he kept being like, yeah.
So, as one knows, if you have been to Costco before, they look at your receipt before you leave. But Cade had not been to a Costco before. His receipt got lost in the melee. We ended up staying there a lot longer. So we were really nervous that we were going to miss this horse race situation. Thankfully, we get there 5 minutes before
The first race.
And we're looking at this thing on the website, and it just says first race at 1:30, and we're like, okay, that means that there's at least gonna be 2 races.
Yeah.
And we get into the place, very nice facility.
Super. It was like the Emerald Downs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's
Exactly.
called. Great arena.
Gorgeous. There was a huge view of Rainier across the horse race track, and so one of the turns that the horses go on is called the Rainier turn because as you watch the race, it's like they turn right in front of the mountain, which was gorgeous and so visible, even though my parents weren't in town. But yeah, no, it was really, really fun. We get in, we had a box seat because of the whole fundraising situation, and we sit down and we start to bet.
So we all bet a lot of times, but Sarah and I, so it was me, Sarah, Cade, and Bella.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah and I did the best. We killed it. I think Sarah called the most horses
Yeah.
for winning, and I think I won the most money.
I think you won the most money for sure.
Yeah.
I made low bets, and I didn't bet on so we got there for the first race, and we all just watched. I don't think anyone bet on the first race.
We didn't have enough time.
Yeah. And on the second race, I was like, I'm a little nervous, but I still, I think that, Arizona Davin is going to win this race.
Yeah.
And then that horse won the race, and I
But
was
you
like,
hadn't bet yet.
I gotta put money on the next race.
And I had bet on that race, and
Right.
I had gotten second.
Yeah.
So I still got some money for it.
Because there's 3 different ways that you can bet that's, like, more
low
common.
stakes. Yeah, low stakes. And not exotic betting.
Right, exactly. And so the first one is win, which is you bet on one horse to win the race outright, like get first place. And then the second type of bet is called place. And so you pick one horse and you win your bet if they get first or second. And then show is as you would expect. You pick one horse, and if they get first, third, or second.
Great job.
Why I did that out of order. But if they finish in the top 3, then you win your bet. So I did all of my bets as show because I was like, I want to have the best odds that I can. But for the first 3 bets that I made, 3 bets?
I don't know.
I think just the first 2 for sure.
I
picked the first place horse, which was really exciting.
Yeah, it was like we were on a high because I think I was also winning.
Yeah.
And I also made a bet accidentally on the wrong horse race in like another place because horse races are happening across the nation.
Yeah.
And I was so confused by the machine, and I was like, I can't really find this horse's name, but I'll just click this. And they ended up winning their, like,
Which
race.
Which is amazing.
So I was like, can you check this? And they're like, yep. Oh, this is a winner. Good job. And so I got money for just, like, guessing, which was awesome.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were, after the races with betting, we were on a high.
Yeah.
And additionally, with our winnings, they had half-price ices.
When I tell you that Kiera and I get, like, no more enjoyment out of anything in the world together than a Slurpee.
It was so good.
We love slushies. There's a very cute, like, the beginning of our friendship, we went and got Slurpees from 7-Eleven, like, a ton.
Yeah, it was our thing. That's what we would do. We didn't take a picture together of us having these Slurpees.
I have a picture of our tongues.
Well, that's close enough, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah,
Dang.
it was really, really cute. We were both, like, so jazzed.
Yeah, it was amazing because we were, like, winning. We had, you know, like, probably $3 or $4, like, bonus that we spent on these ices. And it was a great day. We could go up and down between, like, our little box and, like, going actually down and seeing the horses super close up. Mm-hmm. And we went down to the winner's victory circle where they were taking horses in and out. It was just a great day.
It was really, really fun. Our friends did not win as many bets as we did, and so our friends were having a mildly less good day, but still overall a very good time looking at the ponies. And also, we were the cutest people there.
Oh yeah, we wanted to make the fun hats called
Fascinators,
and we didn't quite get around to going to a place that would have them, and so we were thinking of ways that we could make them, but we still wore very cute outfits. I felt like we were, you know, there for the theme.
Yeah, we looked great. We looked amazing. I was like, wow, is anyone better than us right now?
Definitely not.
No, we looked cute, we were winning, and we had half-price ices, so...
They can't get any better.
Winning. Yeah, so that was our Saturday, and then we came back.
My Saturday continued going, because after that, I was like, yes, dear friends, I haven't seen you in a while, and I've been ignoring you, and one thing that we've been trying to do is have a sleepover. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, this is what's gonna happen. One of my other dear friends, she is the artsy type, and she loves doing kind of like wild experiments. She's like, I want to try to get into here, or like, I want to try to get in this crowd. I feel like I'd really vibe with them, and she loves meeting new people. So her latest endeavor for the past couple months, she has been trying her hardest to get into the goth club. And no, this isn't a themed night. This isn't like a one-off. This is a serious goth club that is a members-only exclusive club. You have to be invited in by a person who is an existing member to get in.
Really?
So it's like super, it's like super difficult to get there. I know, you're going to hear this story for the first time. I've been holding it in.
I'm really excited.
And so me and my other friend, who are just like, you know, fairly feminine and also very, like, bubbly, I would say, for the most part.
You wear a lot of bright colors, and you prioritize wearing bright colors because they make you happy.
And we also speak in high-pitched voices, at least 50% of the time, because we are screaming. our other friend is like, okay, we have to look the part. Like, bring your black clothes and we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so we went all in with the makeup. We put on our clothes. We had a lot of drinks for liquid courage. And we went out and we went to Comet Tavern for the pregame. Our first good note of the night was when we walk in. I was like, I've already had a lot to drink because I have, and I'm much better at pre-gaming than y'all. So you go to the bar, and I will hang here. But the first thing that the bartender said was, wow, it's really refreshing seeing all people like you. We don't get that many people like this in this bar. And we're just like...
You're kidding?
Yeah. We are so, like, oh, the makeup was so good. It's actually really fun.
You looked really, really good.
And it's crazy because the more that we were putting on makeup, the more we're like, oh my god, we look amazing. Like, I totally get why people do this style of makeup.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of work, but once you have it on, I was like, I have so much confidence. I feel amazing.
Amazing.
And here we are, people are complimenting us, and I think also it's annoying to get hit on at the bar, but as a stat, I swear we were getting hit on so much more. Like, it was a revolving door of people.
That's wild.
And so, back to the bartender. The bartender was like, wow, it's so good to see, like, edgy, cool, alt people like you. Like, you guys are special. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna make you a good drink. And so, if you know what a lemon drop shot is, usually they're pretty tame. It's like a shot of vodka, lemon juice, and simple syrup. And sometimes has a little sugar rim if they're doing something nice or whatever.
Right.
And they were like, can we have a double? Because we're like, we're going for it. So they said yes. And you can kind of count how many seconds the pour is to see how many shots are.
Right.
I counted for the 6 shots each. I was like, 1,
You're kidding.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I was like, that is a lot. Maybe it was 4. Like, maybe I counted too fast or something. But there was definitely more than 2.
Significantly more than it would be
so
normally.
much that they said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Actually, do you mind if I put this in a regular glass? It's not going to fit in a shot glass. And so they got 2, like, pint-sized glasses of mostly vodka. And they could not drink these.
So funny.
They could not drink these.
That's so funny.
And so they tried their best, but they were like, Kiera, you have to help us out. And I've already done my due diligence.
I'm ready to go to the club right now. Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? For the team, I'll take one. And so I didn't finish their drinks, but I probably drank like 3/4.
Wow.
I drank like a lot of their drinks.
Wow.
And they were all like, at the end, we were like, all right, let's go to the golf club.
Wow.
And so we had so much confidence. We stopped for a Seattle dog.
Amazing.
Because we needed some food. And we got to the golf club. And my friend was so nervous. She's like, I don't know if we're going to get in. What my plan was to like stand outside. I thought there were going to be a lot more people out here and like befriend people so they let us in. And there was this small group that were clearly like security guard people, like just the ID people.
Right.
I was like, don't worry, we got this. I was so confident. I was like, here's our IDs. And they're like, wow, you guys look great. Like, come in. And we get in, and the other person who's at the front desk is like, oh, hi, wow, you guys look great. Are you guys members? And we're like, oh, no, but the people outside said we could come in. They're like, oh, that's really great, but, like, they actually have to come in and, like, walk you in. Like, we have to have someone that we know is a member actually let you in.
Wow.
And thankfully, the person outside had walked in kind of behind us and like, oh, yeah, just let them sign in. Like, they're totally cool. And so we got in, and when I tell you, I was shocked. I thought for sure we weren't going to make it in because... Come on, we're a bunch of fakes.
Yeah.
We are just lying
Literally.
here. But we got in, and it was a really safe space. There were so many ground rules. So you have to be let in 3 times by someone who's an existing member. It could be the same person. It could be different people. Before they will allow you to apply for membership.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're like, this is a safe space for a lot of people. So... there's absolutely no tolerance of any type of harassment or anything in making anyone feel uncomfortable. If there is, let us know. We will kick them out and ban them. And they were not able to come back.
Wow.
And, like, there were a lot of rules. There's this whole Facebook group and everything. And so we got in, and we had the most amazing time because nobody was bothering us. We were dancing, and we were really, like, feeling good.
Right.
We were flailing our arms, and, like, the music was really good, too. Like, we didn't necessarily know the music very well.
Yeah.
But one of my friends did, and we were just vibing. We were
That's
having
awesome.
such a good time, and we were there for, like, 2 a.m., 2:30
Wow.
or something. And so we were like, okay, we gotta go home. It's late.
Yeah.
And as we're walking out, the front door person's like, wait. Oh, we hope you enjoyed it. Like, if you ever want to come back, like, here's, like, how you kind of do it. And they gave us the rules to do it. So we're like, yeah, we're so cool. And then
so fun.
we went home and we all slept in the same bed. There were 3 of us and, like, 1 queen-size bed.
That's
but
so
we were
funny.
we had some floor time.
Wow.
And we got together and then woke up and was very hungover. But you know what? It was worth it. And it was
That's
super
amazing.
fun. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was my Saturday.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
it was
way
so
more
successful.
intense than I thought it was going to be.
I know. It's like I have a story to tell you.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cute, though. So do you think, like, if you had the chance, would you go back?
Oh, I totally would.
Amazing.
It's the best I felt going out in Seattle, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
because
awesome.
I just didn't have to worry about anyone.
Right.
And I felt really confident.
That's
so
amazing.
It was all good things.
Oh my god, wow.
Yeah. And so that happened until the next morning. I didn't get up till like 11, and I was the worst in the hangover because I had the most to drink. But I finally got up, and we went and had breakfast, brunch, and then I forced myself to go kayaking, and it was good, and I made it, and I lived. But I walked into our house, and I was like, why does it smell like this? Why does it smell rancid in here? And, like, Sarah had just cooked something that had cheese in it, and it smelled sour. And I was like, I hate it here. I gotta leave. But I went kayaking. It was
That's
beautiful
so funny.
in, like, the South Lake Union area. And then I went and I had dinner made for me, which was awesome. And that is today.
And then it's today.
How was the rest of your weekend?
You know, a Saturday, I don't remember, but I think I just went to bed because I was tired. And on Sunday, I had a me day because I was like, I've been around people, like, almost constantly for a really long time. And so I just sewed, I hung out, and it was really, really lovely. And then Sunday evening, we had a friend come back from a Frisbee tournament, and we got to hear all of his stories, and we sat outside because it was unbearable inside, and we thought we were gonna die.
she means roommate.
I mean roommate.
Matthew.
Not our friend, just our roommate. But anyways, he told us all about his friend party tournament. We have some new drinking games that we would like to play with the house. We don't know when, we don't know where, but we are going to do it.
Drunk Olympics.
Okay, when? We should do it.
We'll come back to that.
We'll
Put a pin in that one.
You'll hear about it. But anyways, I think we have done our due diligence in catching up. We are now fully caught up. We won't have to do any retrospective catching up.
Exactly. And we hope you enjoyed some of our stories. I feel like this is the first time that we really got to fully explain everything that we've done.
Yeah.
Because really, Sarah and I, even though we've had some of these times together, it's been touch and go.
It's true.
Like, we have been busy bees, and we're excited to spend the last month together. We're having the best time, and we're excited to talk to you next week. We post podcasts every single Wednesday.
We put them on YouTube and on Spotify, and you should definitely share this with a friend that you want to go to a goth club with.
Yeah.
You know?
Or
Share
a
this
friend-
episode with your parents.
Or a friend that wants to go to the horse races with you.
Literally.
Any friend that has any interests, or any friend that doesn't have any interests but is easily convinced, you should share this
Amazing.
podcast with.
You should definitely peer pressure your friends to listen to this podcast. It's a great time.
But we really enjoyed being here. I really enjoyed catching up. We hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you're at. And we will talk to you next time on
Arguably Speaking.
Bye!